Fentanyl is now the deadliest illegal drug in U.S. history, a synthetic opioid that has transformed the landscape of addiction and overdose in just a few short years. Its impact is felt in every corner of the country, from bustling cities to quiet rural towns, leaving behind a trail of heartbreak and loss. Responsible for around 400,000 deaths between 2013 and 2023, more than many wars, fentanyl's toll is staggering. Each number represents a life cut short, a family shattered, and a community left to pick up the pieces. The scale of this tragedy is difficult to comprehend, and its effects ripple far beyond those directly affected. Unlike older street drugs, fentanyl's rise has been rapid and devastating, marked by a silent wave of overdoses that often go unnoticed until it's too late. Emergency responders now face scenes of tragedy on a daily basis, and entire neighborhoods feel the weight of this crisis. Its danger lies in its potency. Just a few grains can be fatal, especially for those without opioid tolerance. Fentanyl is up to 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine, making accidental overdose frighteningly easy. Even experienced users are at risk, as the difference between a dose that gets someone high and a dose that kills can be nearly invisible. Fentanyl isn't sought out for a better high, it's a contaminant in the drug supply, often mixed into heroin, cocaine, or counterfeit pills without the user's knowledge. This creates a short, unsatisfying experience that traps users in a relentless cycle of craving and withdrawal, making escape nearly impossible. The constant need to avoid withdrawal makes normal life impossible for many. Relationships, jobs, and dreams are lost as people become consumed by the daily struggle to stave off sickness and pain. This crisis is about more than addiction. It's about a poisoned drug supply turning every use into a deadly risk. Every dose is a gamble, and the consequences are often irreversible. To understand the epidemic, we must see how fentanyl's chemistry collides with human biology, and how this tiny molecule has unleashed a public health emergency unlike anything we've seen before. Our bodies are equipped with a remarkable system for managing pain and pleasure, relying on natural chemicals like endorphins and enkephalins. These molecules are released in response to activities like exercise, laughter, or even a comforting hug, helping us feel good and cope with stress or discomfort. Normally, these chemicals are released in small, carefully controlled amounts, ensuring our brains maintain a healthy balance between pleasure and pain. Opioids, whether derived from the opium poppy or made synthetically in labs, are able to mimic these natural chemicals. They fit perfectly into the same receptors in our brains, blocking pain signals and triggering powerful waves of pleasure. But when drugs like heroin, fentanyl, or prescription painkillers enter the body, they don't just activate these receptors, they overwhelm them, flooding the brain and body with signals far stronger than anything nature intended. This sudden surge produces an intense euphoria and profound pain relief, sensations that are much more powerful and addictive than what our bodies are designed to handle. At the same time, the brain's alert systems are sedated. Breathing and heart rate slow dramatically, sometimes to the point of stopping altogether, leading to life-threatening consequences. The very process that creates a sense of bliss can, in a matter of moments, tip over into overdose and death, especially with potent drugs like fentanyl. Unlike our natural system, these drugs hijack and overwhelm the brain's delicate chemistry, making them dangerously addictive and difficult to resist. The user's body is pushed to the brink, often without warning, as tolerance builds and higher doses are needed just to feel normal. This is the tragic biology behind opioid overdoses, a crisis that leaves families and communities devastated. The pursuit of pleasure, or simply relief from pain, becomes a deadly risk as the brain's reward system is rewired by addiction. Understanding how opioids hijack the brain is key to grasping the scale of the crisis, and to finding hope for recovery and prevention. A first-time heroin user often experiences an overwhelming rush of pleasure, a sensation so intense it rewires their sense of happiness. The drug erases pain, physical and emotional, creating a serene, dreamlike state. This perfect high is fleeting. The brain's reward system is altered, leaving a powerful craving to repeat the experience. Addiction begins as the user chases that initial feeling, but the brain adapts, making it impossible to recapture. The memory of that first escape becomes more compelling than anything else. Each use is an attempt to fill a void the drug itself created. The pursuit of that lost high drives the cycle of addiction. This is the tragic core of opioid dependence. The brain quickly develops tolerance to opioids, requiring ever larger doses for the same effect. When use stops, the brain's countermeasures go unchecked, causing withdrawal, a state of intense pain, anxiety, and physical misery. Symptoms include muscle and bone pain, sweating, vomiting, and severe gastrointestinal distress. Withdrawal can last weeks, leaving users desperate to avoid it at any cost. Addiction becomes less about seeking pleasure and more about avoiding suffering. The user's life revolves around preventing withdrawal, not getting high. The pleasure fades, replaced by grim necessity. The drug becomes a chain, not an escape. This relentless cycle traps users in fear and suffering. Breaking free is incredibly difficult. Fentanyl and heroin are both opioids, but fentanyl is about 50 times more potent and acts much faster. Fentanyl's high is intense but extremely short-lived, sometimes fading in under an hour. Unlike heroin's long, warm euphoria, fentanyl often causes sudden sedation and unconsciousness. This inferior, fleeting high makes fentanyl even more addictive, as users must dose frequently to avoid withdrawal. The risk of overdose is much higher. The margin between a high and a fatal dose is razor-thin. Potency varies wildly, making every use a gamble. Fentanyl's rapid cycle creates constant instability and desperation. It's replaced heroin not because users prefer it, but because it dominates the market. The result, a faster, more dangerous addiction. Fentanyl's dominance isn't about user demand, it's about economics. Unlike heroin, which requires labor-intensive farming, fentanyl is synthetic and cheap to produce in labs. Its potency means a tiny amount yields massive profits and is easy to smuggle. Dealers can stretch a kilogram into millions of doses, making fentanyl far more profitable than heroin. Its compact size makes law enforcement's job harder. Most users didn't choose fentanyl. Their heroin supply was replaced by it. Dealers mix fentanyl into other drugs or press it into counterfeit pills, maximizing profits. The market is now driven by chemical manufacturing, not agriculture. Fentanyl's low cost and high potency have made it the king of the illicit drug trade, with deadly consequences. Many fentanyl deaths involve people who never intended to take it. Families are left devastated, losing loved ones who had no idea they were at risk. The grief and shock ripple through entire communities, leaving lasting scars. Dealers add fentanyl to drugs like cocaine, meth, and even marijuana to increase addictiveness and profits. This practice is often done without the user's knowledge, making every dose unpredictable and dangerous. Even people who think they're using a familiar drug can be exposed to a deadly substance. This contamination turns any street drug into a game of Russian roulette. Each use is a gamble, with the odds stacked against the user. The risk is not just theoretical. Lives are lost every day to this hidden danger. Stimulant users with no opioid tolerance are especially vulnerable to fatal overdoses. For them, even a tiny amount of fentanyl can be enough to stop breathing within minutes. Many have no idea they're at risk until it's too late. Counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl mimic real medications, deceiving buyers, including young people. These pills are often sold online or through social media, making them easily accessible, and especially dangerous for teens and young adults who may believe they're taking a safe prescription. In 2023, authorities seized over 115 million fentanyl-laced pills. 70% contained potentially lethal doses. This staggering number highlights the scale of the crisis and the relentless efforts of law enforcement to keep these deadly drugs off the streets. 1/5 of fentanyl deaths now involve counterfeit pills. The statistics are alarming, and the trend is only getting worse as more fake pills flood the market. Any non-pharmacy pill or powder could be deadly. Without regulated sources, there's no way to know what's really inside, and the consequences can be fatal. Fentanyl's invisible presence has made every dose a potential death sentence. It can't be seen, tasted, or smelled, making it nearly impossible to detect without specialized equipment. The crisis continues to spiral, turning a search for relief into tragedy. Every day more families are shattered, and the need for awareness and action grows ever more urgent.